Alrighty, we are in. So, welcome everyone. My name is Mackenzie, the founder of Grad Jobs, and today I'm interviewing Parakram. He came to Australia in around 2020 to study a Master of Engineering in Mechatronics and build a career for himself in Australia. Around 6 months ago, he secured a mechatronics engineer job at a company called IGM Australia. In this podcast, we are going to learn about Parakram's story and how he landed the job. And just because I know a lot of people will ask, if you do want to contact him, he is happy for you to reach out on LinkedIn. And if you want to contact myself or my team, feel free to reach out to mygradjobs.com.au or reach out on LinkedIn. So welcome, Parakram. Thanks for coming.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Mackenzie, for calling me here today.
Absolutely. Super excited to have you. Let's just jump right into it.
Yeah, no problems.
So what's the biggest thing that motivated you to come to Australia and pursue your master's?
So I did bachelor's in mechanical and automation engineering, and automation engineering was something that was more of interest for me rather than mechanical. And that's why I wanted to change my degree a little bit and go into mechatronic. And yeah, why not? Mining industry and all these robotic industries are doing quite well in Australia. So that's the reason. That's one of the main reason why I shifted to Australia. But yeah, opportunity wise, yeah, Australia has a lot of opportunity in terms of mechatronic, and that's the main reason why I shifted here.
Awesome. How was Adelaide University?
I would say a weird experience because I came here early 2020, so I'm one of those few academic who did all the university online. So like in my literally in my last exam of my whole degree, I got one physical exam where I had to go to the showground and give a test over there. But yeah, apart from that, it was fun. I made a lot of friends at the university, and yeah, because we were going through a tough time, our professor were even more supportive, trying to help us online and like late hours we used to ask for help, and they used to always help us out online. So yeah, a different kind of experience, but yeah, fun. I had fun during university.
Out of curiosity, I know this is slightly off topic, but how did you find Adelaide or Australia in general when you first arrived?
I haven't told, but yeah, I'm from India, so I came from Delhi as well. So it was a big cultural shock, like literally big. It was like here, people are always outside, and in Adelaide, especially Adelaide, it's like after 5 p.m. you don't see anyone outside. So yeah, a big cultural shock. But yeah, people are really friendly. That's something I was a bit scared about. But yeah, Australians are quite friendly and try to get along. So that helped me. And obviously, COVID happened, so that was another this thing. But luckily, yeah, Australia was one of we had the lowest COVID, so like lockdown was hardly anything.
Yeah, Adelaide lockdown was almost non-existent, which was lucky.
True, it was like 1 month and then 3 days and 3 days. That's it.
Yeah, we were fortunate then.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so let's get to the job search. So you came to Adelaide, came to Australia, studied your mechatronics degree, mostly virtually, and then the reality at some point would have hit. Oh my gosh, I need to now go and get a job. So for you, how challenging would you say the job searching process was, say out of 10?
I would easily say if 10 is the toughest, I would say 8 to 9 because when I came to Australia, I thought mechatronics should not be that of a hard stream to get in. But sooner or later, like this happened later, after as soon as I finished my university and I started applying, I just realized that a lot of these mechatronic roles were in defense sectors or really secretive roles where they required a person to be citizen. So a lot of interviews, there were like 3 or 4 interviews where they just told me, not even interviews, in my application, they just told me that, oh, since you're not a citizen or a PR, we cannot carry on your application. So I early on I realized that it's going to be tough to get a mechatronic role, and that too in Adelaide because my visa condition only asked me to work in South Australia, which was another big obstacle for me.
Definitely. And what would you, I think you already answered this question, but just to make sure, what was the most challenging part of the job search, at least at first?
Good question. I would say I'm a bit of a shy person. Like I try not to contact new people, and that was obviously hampering my chances of getting roles. And yeah, that's one thing I would say. Apart from obviously the PR and visa, citizenship issue with my applications.
Got it.
Because yeah, for me it was just apply through online sites rather than connecting with people.
Got it. So at some point you realized actually I have to probably connect with people a little bit, and then that bit was tricky.
Oh yeah, like I'll say till I met you, I was not comfortable at all connecting with people on LinkedIn. Like it was literally after I think our second or third meeting when you said like have at least 10 to 15 people a day and try at least 100 per week sort of thing, that I didn't do 10, 15, but yeah, I slowly started connecting and then I started getting results. That's how I started connecting with LinkedIn.
Okay, interesting. And just out of curiosity, did you ever think about giving up when you were job searching at the start? Was it that hard?
Uh, yeah, I would say I never thought about giving up. Yeah, there were few sometimes doubts in my mind that yeah, there's no hope coming. But yeah, I never thought about giving up. Yeah, that's something my parents raised me to be. They said try as hard as possible. Yeah, and I never thought about giving up. But yeah, there were doubts in my mind.
What helped you overcome those doubts?
I would say like around the time when I started getting my interviews for the roles that I'm currently in, that like literally a few weeks before that, I was like, I should have now a plan for like next 6 months. If okay, fine. If I don't get anything, maybe I should start looking for mechanical or electronic roles and then slowly shift towards mechatronic instead of just being in mechatronic. But yeah, I wanted to stay in Australia. There's no chance of me going back to India. So I was like, yeah, I'll stay in Australia, get engineering role, maybe some other different role that's easier because obviously I have mechanical role, more experience in mechanical engineering.
Okay, awesome. So you did your degree, you kind of started job searching, realized, okay, this is going to be a bit tricky. I might have to kind of switch things up here and figure this out. It's pretty hard. What would you say was one of the first steps you took to overcoming those issues? Like, because people watching this, they're going to be in a similar boat, job searching, and they're wondering, okay, I'm stuck. What's the first thing I should do to?
Oh, definitely. Obviously, first thing I think I remember first thing we did was in the first meeting we had was we fixed our resume. Obviously, we need to have those important words and how you set up your resume and LinkedIn, obviously, and start connecting. And at first, obviously, with the connection, I was like a bit skeptical. Why would anyone want to help you out? You're such a stranger to them. But when I started connecting with people, and there were a lot of people who were way more helpful. They were like, you know what, I'll talk to my boss. If there is a role coming up, I'll 100% give him your name and we'll talk or something. Like there were lot of people there. I'm still connected. They didn't, obviously, I didn't get into their company or something, but I still talk to them. And maybe later I get an opportunity to work in their company, or maybe they call me later for a better role. Yeah, so I would say that it was LinkedIn, obviously, connecting people, and it started with one people, two people. Then I did like 10, 20 people. Out of them, it was like probably 10% people connecting and less than half of them replying back or something. But yeah, those I would say those connections, talking to them and them contacting back, and how you can carry forward was what would I say that was the best. Yeah, like that's how I started.
Hmm. Got it. So getting your LinkedIn right, your resume right, and just focusing on networking.
Yeah.
Mm. How did you feel after the because you had some, from memory, how many people did you end up chatting with over LinkedIn in total?
I would say chatting would be like around. I didn't do much, but I would say like around 80 people. Yeah.
Are they people who you actually chatted with over
Yeah,
LinkedIn?
yeah. They replied back. Even some of them were like career. Those from people I forgot the people who try to get you the roles in other companies. I
Recruiters.
forgot. Yeah, recruiters. Sorry, yeah, recruiters. Yeah, my bad.
Okay, so about 70 plus people you actually managed to have conversations with on LinkedIn. What
Yeah.
was it like when you got, the first couple of people responding to your messages and actually helping you out? What did it feel like?
Oh, I remember the guy also. His name is I think Phil from Axis, but he told me like he gave. I just asked him, "You are in a mechatronic role." He was a control system engineer, and I just asked him, "What's the way I can get into control system?" And he gave me a whole. I think it was like a 200 paragraph word paragraph essay. And I was like, obviously, that felt that okay, this guy is really helpful. He wrote that down whole thing, and that time there was no chat GPT as well. So you could not just say, oh, you know what, just write it down and send it to him. So yeah, that time I realized that people are helpful. People will help you out if you ask for, and obviously there are like people who won't. But even if you get it like 1 in 100 people, that's still something. They're not trying.
Mm. Awesome. So you started kind of getting your marketing right, your resume, your LinkedIn, networking, got some wins on the board. And so how did you end up securing this role? Because you got a really, the company you got a job at, I at first hadn't heard of them, but then I realized they're pretty amazing. So how did you end up getting that role?
I would say the same thing. So I was just researching one day, and I connected with this guy. He's my manager here, Anton Resch. He's sort of like a co-founder as well of the company. And I talked to him, and we were just discussing how I wanted a mechatronic role because ProTube is technically a mechanical company, not a mechatronic company. And I was just discussing what all the roles, because they on their site also it's not much shown on it. And then he told me that they're gonna have a role regarding robotic welding engineer coming up soon. And that's how I was like, you know what, I have some experience in mechatronic, maybe that helps. And he was quite happy to help me out. And I think it was within 3 weeks that they said, okay, I would like to interview you regarding this role for this. And yeah, and that's how I got the interview for that.
Awesome. So you did a lot of networking, and fortunately one of those at a good company, they happened to have a job coming up and they were just like, hey,
Yeah.
thank you, let's chat.
Yep, that's what happened.
Did they advertise the role? I think they did. Or not?
I'm not sure. No, they didn't do. So they did advertisement for another role that was similar, but was not for the engineering. And like they wanted to hire two people. One was an engineer and one was a technician for IGN. So I got into the role, and then they told me that they're hiring another technician as well.
That's awesome. So this is what we call, a lot of people, they don't believe us when we say, you can get jobs that are hidden.
Oh yes.
This is a hidden job, right? It's a good example.
Yeah, true, true. I would say another role would be same with the Mott McDonald's that happened. I connected with Allison from Mott McDonald HR, and she told me I had applied to the role, but it was through just graduate engineering.
Hmm.
And but I connected with her, and she told me that the fire department of Mott McDonald's was looking for a mechanical fire engineer role. And for that also I got interviewed, and I was in the final round before I got the current role I am in.
Got it. So you were in final round for McDonald as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So you had to. Did you exit that interview process to accept this role?
Yeah, because I had to fly in the same meantime to my Austria during that time when they called for the final interview. And I told them obviously that I have a role I'm happy with, so they were fine with it.
Awesome. Did you? So you got McDonald final round interview. Potentially could have become an offer. You got the ProTube offer. Did you or did you want to share any other successes that you had in the job search, or would you rather keep that
Oh,
private?
I didn't have much other. Maybe if I tried even more, maybe I would have gotten more after that. But I'm happy with my role right now, and yeah, it's a learning process. So obviously, I would say there was one more where I talked to one of the directors at Super Shock, another mechanical company,
Yeah.
and yeah, I didn't. I would say we were still discussing the interview role sort of thing, interview and all. But yeah, apart from that, I didn't have much. Maybe I later on would have had more interviews or something.
So it sounds like most of the opportunities you got were from networking.
Oh, 100%, yeah. All of them were through networking, almost all of them.
Hmm. So awesome. And what do you think was the biggest thing that made you stand out when they were interviewing you? Why did they make you the offer?
That okay, I shouldn't be gloating this, but yeah, I feel that I am good with communication. I'm good with words sometimes. Like they ask me questions like I remember they were like, "Oh, why do you want to join ProTube?" I said, why not? Yeah, I had a thing also with you as well. I said, why not? The current role I'm doing is robotic welding. We know that robots gonna be a big thing in the next 10 years, and I'm 100% gonna vouch for that. Why shouldn't I be working in? The question should not be why should I work. It should be why not should I be working in this company. So yeah, even my boss, he was quite impressed. He was like, "Yeah, now I understand. Now I'll make sure you remember these words." And he still till date taunt me like with few questions from my interview.
Awesome. Yeah, I guess as an engineer, if you can have the technical skills and the communication skills, it's quite attractive.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Like I
Hmm.
remember, it was like 20-25% of the interview was like technical, asking me related to welding and mechatronic. It was more my communication skills and critical thinking skills that they talked about.
Hmm. Wow. Out of curiosity, before you started networking, how many jobs did you apply to?
The thing is, I was not counting, but I think we discussed that I would say around 100, or something. But they were all application, none through networking at all. I don't
Hmm.
remember much, but yeah, I think there was only three interviews that I got, and those out of those also there were like one online, and like they were not more much of a real interview sort of thing. It was just like a I don't know, clearing out space before they have a proper interview or something.
Hmm. It's so interesting, isn't it? Because that is what most people watching this, that's what they're probably doing. They're applying to jobs, they're sitting behind the screen. Whereas, as you've shown, if you can take the initiative and actually reach out to your dream companies, the results can be pretty outrageous.
Oh, 100%. I totally agree because yeah, all of these things I had already chatted them about my previous this thing because in online application it's basically the HR who's clearing out the applications and all, and obviously they have no knowledge about what you have done in previous role, or they don't care much about what you have done that could help you out of this thing. They're just looking for those 4 or 5 keywords and they'll be like, yeah, that matches or that didn't. And because of that, sometimes even the good candidates can be missed out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really tricky process. Really tricky. Yeah. I keep telling people if I was job searching, and most people who go through and start networking as well, I tell them if I was job searching again, I would decide which companies I want to work for and just network with them. And that's what pretty much everyone else says once they try networking. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. I think that's what I did as well. I just selected around 100, 105, 100, I think 100 companies, yeah. And I just started connecting with everyone. Like I still have a lot of connections that could still help me later on after 5 years or 3 years when I want to switch role. I know a lot of people are still there in the connection, and if I want to stay in mechatronic role, that's like again a jump start for me. Some people will be hard to get into, and maybe those people who I connected were a smaller role now are director or something, or maybe I connected with some people who were like really small role, and maybe after 3 5 years they're a director or something. They could easily help me out as well.
Hmm. What's something that you wish you knew about job searching at the start? Say you were back when you were back at university that you know now.
Oh, connection, networking is a big thing anyways. Like I totally, even if I talk to other people, networking is 100% there. I tell them you have to network, that's the only way. Like since that time, anyone who asks me how did you get a job, I don't even ask them to search for job through Seek or whatever roles that apply. Try to connect with all the companies you want to work with, the way you taught us, like how it should be.
Hmm. And this might be the same answer, but I'm going to ask anyway to see if we can find something else. But what do you think's the biggest mistake that you made when you started job searching? Actually, no, let me reframe that. What's the biggest mistake you made when it came to job searching when you came to Australia?
I would say networking during my university days. Like that was one thing where I could have excelled, or like had a kickstart really early at the stage, because obviously there when I was studying with my course mates, there were like 50 60 people. Let's say just in mechatronic they were like 50 60 students, and if we connected I could have grown lot more network when I finished my university, and maybe would have gotten a job earlier.
Mm,
But yeah, I would say networking during university, even professors as well.
mm. Yeah, it's surprising, isn't it? You never really know where that opportunity is going to come from, and you also it's hard to know exactly which company it's going to come from as well. Like we've had clients who get lots of clients who get job opportunities through their lecturers, for example, or through like a tutor at university, and it's really hard to know.
Oh yeah, I totally believe that. Like I should have had good connections with my few of my lecturers that could have 100% helped me out. And even if they don't help you out, they could give you like obviously they have research or they have worked with other companies. So just connecting with them could help you get more connections in that sort of field. So yeah, I think networking would have been the biggest mistake that I sorry, not networking would have been the biggest mistake during my university or when I came to Australia.
How important do you think getting good grades was?
None. I like obviously you have to get a bare minimum, but I would say none because both of my interviewers they didn't even see my application, and they were happy with both. Like obviously we were discussing my GPA in the Mott McDonald's, but I told them my GPA was like 5.2, And they were like, as long as you're working hard enough and you're giving us the correct this thing, GPA doesn't matter to us. Like literally, we had that discussion, and they were like, grades in reality, grades don't matter. It's more of your practical work and experience that matter to us.
Mm. Yeah, it's very, very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like in engineering, it's just we study to learn, and then when we get the job or we're trying to find the job, it's more about how you showcase how you can convert those education into skill sets rather than how well did you do in your university.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Where else do we go? Again, this might be the same. It seems like this is going to be the same thing again. But if you had to give advice to one piece of advice to an international student, they've just arrived in Australia, they're looking to land a graduate role in their field. Maybe they have no experience. What's the one thing you'd recommend to them that's not networking?
Yeah, I was about to say, don't worry, this time it's not network. I would say repetition and don't lose hope. Not repetition, consistency. I would say consistency and not losing hope. Like basically try networking. Okay, there will be some people who will be really not answering you back or will give you a shut up call sort of thing, saying don't text me or something like that. But there's one obviously there'll always be someone who's willing to help you out. So I
Mm.
would say 100% consistency and not losing hope.
And what if someone has lost hope? They're completely demoralized. And maybe they're like, where you were at. They've applied to 100 jobs. Maybe they've got no interviews. What do you say?
Maybe yeah, you can still look at it in a different picture. Maybe you should what I was thinking, you can go that way as well. Like let's say if you're engineering, why not look for a technician role? Why not look for mechanical role instead of mechatronic role? Or why not electronic? Just because it's really hard to tough to get into a mechatronic role doesn't mean you cannot work in mechanical or electronic and then switch on to mechatronic role. And I would say that for the same thing for any other role as well. It's not just engineering. Any other role you can do that.
And say you were talking to them right now, face to face. They were demoralized with their job search and they said, Parakram, I think I'm going to give up. What would you say?
Again, I would say, you know what, try looking, not even, try searching for other roles that are even closely resembling your role. The same answer I'm going to give from the previous answer that in engineering is not that tough because, sorry, not that different. Like in my role, I'm still doing a lot of mechanical engineering role, a lot of electrical engineering role. So it's just that okay, once a month or twice a month, I do like a purely mechatronic role. But apart from that, in my current installation, it's all mechanical or electrical. So yeah, I would say why not look for other roles and then slowly jump into that? Or maybe what if mechanical engineer role is better for you? What if you get a better opportunity in mechanical engineer or electrical engineer? I don't know. Like I would say that try to sway a little bit, not too much, and try to still find roles in that sort of field.
Awesome. I think that's pretty much it, job search wise. Just a couple of questions though on your current job. So, what does a typical day look like for you?
That's a good question. I'm currently in India for 3 weeks. I'm like I need some rest, but every day is a different day in my role. Every day is a different role. So currently, I'm installing one of the robots in Edinburgh and Adelaide. So in August, we started this project. August till September, it was mechanical installation, and I was with one of the company's technician installing the robot there in terms of mechanical, like literally erecting the whole robot on its feet and all those kind of stuff. Then in September, October, I was doing the electrical part. That means connecting all the connections and what goes what, programming the computers in terms of how what setting requires. And currently, I'm doing is welding programming. That's different from computer programming. It's like sort of like teaching robot how to do the welding on a specific part of the tool.
Hmm.
So yeah, for me, currently it's like a every day a new learning opportunity. I'm still learning. Obviously, I would say on 2 days back only. I just did 6 months. My probation ended 2 days back only, and yeah, every day is a different new day for me.
I was talking to a mutual friend, one of them, and and he said you had some exciting trips.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's another reason why I joined this company, I would say. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, they said that we might send you to Austria for 3 weeks of training.
Hmm.
And obviously, when they told me that, I was like, yeah, I've never been outside India and Australia, so I was like, yeah, Europe for the first time. And obviously, I met new people over there, and obviously, Europeans are completely different to Australians, and
Hmm.
they have that different mentality. So for me, that's also a learning curve. I do deal with a lot of Austrians at the moment. It's because our company is Austrian based and our customers are Australian, so I have to deal with both kind of people. So that's
Hmm.
another good thing about this role. I'm getting along with people, or people management is another new thing that I'm learning in this job.
Sounds like a dream job.
Uh, yeah, a bit stressful, but yeah, yeah.
A stressful dream job.
Yeah. As long as I'm learning, I don't mind the stress.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What else? Okay, maybe the last question I'll ask, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to go too much or too detailed, but what's your long-term goal career-wise?
Oh, I would say I'm still thinking because now this is like my first proper job. Like in the sense, like before that, they were all short term, and I had another thing to do after that goal sort of thing. So right now, I would say that I would want to pivot towards consulting or some other opportunity in next 5 years, and later on, my goal is still that in next 10 to 15 years have my own firm, but it's just that I want to understand how do I go about it. I'm still in that how would I say, like trying to understand how can I go to this role. So basically my plan is to learn as much as I can from here and probably shift to consulting or some bigger, very big firms where I deal with management and all those kind of stuff, and then maybe I can start my own firm, connect with even more people.
Awesome. Have you got any final words or things you'd like to say to someone watching this before we finish it up?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. My words, I think, has been the same. Networking, that
Yeah.
has to be there. But yeah, consistency and not losing hope. Consistency is a big thing. If you're consistent enough, I'm telling you, after even 2, 3 months, you will 100% have the opportunity you are looking for. But yeah, you have to be consistent.
Last question.
Yeah, not a problem.
How do you think, on average, job seekers or at least graduates who are job seeking, do they put in enough effort into their job search?
Depends on people to people. I would say I wasn't. I was really lazy at first. Like I was not trying hard. Maybe it was because of me being a bit skeptical or being shy that I didn't try enough. But yeah, when I started being consistent, I would say it's depends on person to person. If you're consistent enough, I think you will 100% get that opportunity you're looking for. But I cannot say for other people. Maybe someone's really going through a tough time or something. But yeah, again, consistency.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for your time. I really enjoyed our chat, and hopefully the viewers find it valuable.
Thank you.
Have a great Christmas.
Yeah, I would say great holidays.
Holidays. Have a great
But
day.
yeah, you too. You too.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to finish it up now.